Hi, this is Gail. I just wanted to go through with you the slides just to explain a little bit about the assignments for processing customer complaints. So in the very first assignment, you've got a case study, and this is about Kim, who goes to ABC printers. Apologies, of course, the scenario isn't what you would deal with, obviously, but it's a generic scenario, and that's fine. So Kim isn't happy. She's phoned and emailed several times, and now she's coming in to see you. She is a loyal customer, or was, and she's a member of their loyalty program. As a member, she was entitled to 15% off any purchase, except for sale items. She purchased a new printer. The deal she was offered was $200 off the printer, as well as a free box of paper and a few other things to the value of $150. She ordered this online and received the paper ink and printer, but it was not the printer that was advertised, which is in itself an issue. And when she checked it, it was the printer below the model that she thought she ordered. So it's a complex issue. One of the reasons Kim had ordered the printer, and this is what I want you to take note of, she had a very large print job that she needed to do. And so that was the purpose for the printer. She checked the details, and you found that she ordered the AK203 instead of the AK202. And she was very disappointed, as this had not been resolved after 2 weeks, and she'd come in to ABC to talk to you. She was angry, obviously. You investigate what happened with the printer and discover that when she ordered the printer, it was stated AK203. But with the loyalty discount, she saved $200. The system wouldn't normally allow for the loyalty membership, and that becomes a systemic problem. And finally, sorry about that, you check the stock and you don't have any of the printer that she wants at the moment, but to get one, it's going to be about 3 to 5 days from the post. So the very first task that you have, and I just highlighted the important things, is to identify the 6-step procedure for dealing with Kim's complaint. And you would need to firstly identify these 6 steps, which I've just written there, and then you would say what you would say at that step, or give some background to what that would involve. So you would put for step 1, you would listen. So you would do active listening, and then I want you to imagine what you would say to Kim. So I imagine you'd be saying, okay, this is very important to us that we understand what's going on. Can you tell me again? I know you're feeling frustrated, etc. Acknowledgement sort of goes in with that. Acknowledgement is about when you acknowledge how she feels. Remember, we talked about in counselling we use reflect feeling. But what would you say in this instance? When you're getting ready to respond, obviously you're looking to thank her for coming in there. You would be reassuring her that you would be trying everything you can to resolve it, all that sort of stuff. And in the process, you're starting to unpack some of the issue directly with Kim. So write down what you would be saying directly to Kim. And then taking action would be basically following up on what you said in the earlier one. So if Kim said, I want you to do this and I'll pay the difference, that's fine. Take action then. So how would you go about that? What would you do? Write down the details here of what you would include in your report. Just imagine it's a written report, so you just put your report there. And then with the follow-up, which is usually after Kim has resolved her complaint, it's a few days later, you're ringing her again. What would you say when you're following up with Kim? So task 1.1b, would you record this complaint on your complaint register and justify the answer? In other words, would you record it, and if so, why? And so the answer is yes, you would record it. You do this because you're required to by law. You're required to by your employer. It's useful to have a record, obviously, especially if the complaint doesn't get resolved. It looks as though the complaint was made more difficult, if you remember, because the fault in the system didn't allow for her taking the membership, the loyalty membership rebate off of something that was already marked down. And of course the complaints record could be used in the future to improve services. So that's continuous improvement. What effective communication techniques would you use throughout this resolution? This is open to you. There's a whole lot of stuff on Canvas. Do some digging. It's all there. But it would include things like, just give you a heads up, assertive language, open body language, active listening, and anything else that you can find. All right? So that's fine. The second scenario, this is, you're still working for ABC Printing, still didn't get out of there, but this time you have a guy come in. You're just feeling quite happy with yourself. Kim's happy, everybody's happy, but this guy comes in and you notice his body language. You see that I've got the highlighted text. Now, the orange text is really everything that the customer says to you, because that's relevant to the scenario. So he's clearly very angry. He's been in before. No one could help him. He waited for such a long time. Someone went out to find the computer and they didn't come back, and another staff member was stuck on the phone and ignoring him. So he has a lot of anger, and you're needing to sort of work with him there. You say you apologise. You say, look, I'm really sorry about that. He says sorry isn't good enough, which doesn't help, obviously. And then you start to say, okay, well, I'll see if I can help you with the product. And then he says, I don't have any confidence that you can help me. And then, unfortunately, you say back, look, I'm trying to help you. Calm down. Stop banging the counter and let's get this fixed, which is actually an error. It's going to put you on the back foot. Do not do that. Okay? So that's our scenario. What is the best course of action right now and why? Honestly, I believe the only course of action open to you is to offer to call the manager. And that's because he's already stated he's lost confidence in your capacity to help him. He's obviously written off all the other staff members that didn't help him. So the only way to do this is to escalate the issue. And so you would now offer to call the manager. You are going to do this as well because it's a requirement of law and it's a requirement by your employer, usually via your policy, but also understand that it now needs to be escalated, which is the term we use. What would happen, what should happen when you follow up with him? Now, this is an interesting one because you didn't, after speaking to the manager and the manager takes over the process, you're secondary to that process. You're part of it, but you're not part of the resolution. So you would speak to your manager, fundamentally. Talk to your manager, ask him how it's going with the complaint and things like that. It is legitimate to ask your manager if you haven't heard about anything for a while. Remembering you're trying to work within policy and you're all working towards the one thing, which is to get a resolution so the customer's happy. So it's quite legitimate for you to raise it with your manager and have it come up again. So there you go. You have done those 2 case studies. Any problems, please just give me a buzz. Numbers down there, and so is my email address. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.